Thursday, everybody. Welcome aboard. Dr. Glidden with you. Tonight, for insiders and their guests exclusively, a worldwide live chat health webinar for insiders and their guests. Don't know what that is? You don't know what you're missing? Check out my website, drglidden.com. Become an insider. It's a monthly or yearly subscription service to my online health recovery information. 100-plus hours of archived health webinars available immediately, plus 3 hours of live chat a week. It's an international live chat. You can also join us for free live streaming right now. Just go to drglidden.com and or Facebook or YouTube. Facebook, my Facebook fan page, Dr. Glidden Fire Your MD. Now, 40 people watching the live stream. Cartagena is in the house. How about that? All the way down in South America. Cartagena, we have people from all over North America, all over, quite frankly, the world. This is a worldwide community of like-minded individuals. And for the next 2 hours, God willing and the creek don't rise, I will be your host. Dr. Peter Glidden. I'm a licensed naturopathic physician. I have 25 years of clinical experience helping people to recover their health with science-based, clinically verified alternatives to drugs and surgery. Now, yesterday, we pulled back the curtain on the relationship between Procter & Gamble and the American Heart Association, letting people know that the science behind the myth that saturated fats from animals and butter was related in any way, shape, or form to heart disease. There's no scientific evidence that shows any relationship whatsoever between saturated fat consumption and the genesis of heart disease, but Procter & Gamble took a $1.7 million, gave a $1.7 million check to the American Heart Association so the American Heart Association could endorse Crisco. And, you know, it's not so funny. Because heart disease now is the second leading cause of death in the United States, the first leading cause of death being MD-directed medical therapeutics itself. So let me get this straight. MD-directed medical therapeutics are the leading cause of death in the United States. The American Heart Association took a bribe from Procter & Gamble in order to generate bad research, bad recommendations to every United States citizen, which led to hundreds of thousands of cases and deaths from heart disease because of fuzzy science. The MDs got that wrong. The MDs got the whole statin drug thing wrong. The MDs got the whole heartburn thing wrong. The MDs got the whole autoimmune disease thing wrong. What will they get wrong next? Well, you can wait and see what they've gotten wrong next or what they will get wrong next. Or you can abandon their misguided, outdated, old-fashioned, juvenile, dangerous, expensive therapeutics for chronic disease. And you can take your health into your own hands. Take your health into your own hands. I mean, let's think it through, okay? So, you know, information like this that we talked about yesterday is starting slowly but surely to trickle into the mainstream, right? So let's say that as the months and years go by, more and more people start to see through the veil of pharmaceutical centrist, monopolistic MD medical therapeutics all around the world, and they start to get a clue that the MDs really have nothing for them. The MDs really do, in fact, have nothing for them. What are they going to do? Are they going to go to naturopaths? But, you know, naturopathic medicine is only licensed and regulated in 17 states in the United States right now. So what if you live in one of the other 33 states that doesn't license or regulate naturopathic medicine? You're SOL. And, you know, that doesn't even go to mention anybody in Europe or anybody in South America or anybody in Canada. You don't have access to naturopathic medicine. You don't have access that's paid for by your medical insurance to anything alternative, quote unquote, and I hate that term. The only thing that I'm alternative to is bad medicine. So I guess, if bad medicine is the norm, then in fact I'd be proud to call myself an alternative medical doctor, because all mainstream medicine is horrible for chronic disease. And it is. But, once people start to wake up to the fact that pharmaceutical industry and the MDs have nothing for them when it comes to chronic disease, that really the best thing they can do is fire their medical doctor, what are they going to do? Very few naturopathic physicians know what Dr. Wallach knows. I'm one that does. Very few chiropractic physicians know anything about medical nutrition, and an even smaller percentage of them know what Dr. Wallach knows, a very small percentage of them. So even once people start to understand that MDs are the wrong dog for the hunt, and it's only a matter of time until that happens, what are people going to do? Are they going to wait for more states to license and regulate naturopathic medicine? That's going to take 50 years. What about today? What are they going to do? People are going to have to search the Internet to try to figure it out by themselves, and that hasn't worked so great, has it? I mean, you can go on the Internet now and find all kinds of crazy theories about this, that, or the other thing. Where I come into play, where longevity comes into play, where Dr. Wallach comes into play, is the void, the great vacuum that is left by MD incompetence and holistic medical physician lack of clinical experience. Because, this radio program is not all about how great holistic medicine is and how bad MD medicine is. It's not that at all. It's pragmatic, reality-based. Let's pull the curtain back and just take an objective, pragmatic look at what the heck is going on here, all in every aspect. There are some things that holistic practitioners do that I think are crazy. There are some diagnostic techniques that holistic practitioners use that I think are crazy. There are a lot of holistic therapeutics that I think are crazy and misguided and just bad and wrong. I mean, they pale in comparison to the bad stuff that MDs bring to the table. You know how many people died from vitamins last year in the United States? Zero. 378,000. 738,000. Had a little dyslexia there. 738,000 died from MD-directed medical therapeutics. There's not even any comparison. But the point is that the information that Dr. Wallach has gleaned about the pathogenesis of disease and what to do when somebody is saddled with a chronic disease in order to support and promote the body's ability to fix itself is unrivaled by anybody. And there are only a handful of physicians in the entire world that have a clue about what Dr. Wallach is up to, have used Dr. Wallach's expertise, have leaned on Dr. Wallach's research and clinical experience, and actually have gotten clinical results. There's only a handful of us. This is why longevity is so important, because it's only a matter of time until people get until the truth comes out. I mean, yesterday, another piece of the iceberg is revealed. Procter & Gamble in bed with the American Heart Association, of all people. The American Heart Association, for goodness sakes. You know how good the American Heart Association is? Not very, because heart disease, right, if you take the MD piece of the pie, is the leading cause of death in the United States. Oh, they're doing a really crack-up job, aren't they? They need to be fired, because their evidence is not science-based. Their evidence is money-based. And their evidence has nothing to do with scientific reality. It has everything to do with payola. I mean, you're welcome to your own opinion, but not your own set of facts. The leading cause of death after you take the MDs out of the equation is heart disease. Heart disease kills more people than cancer, right? It does. Heart disease kills more people than cancer. And why is this? I mean, aren't we supposed to have the best medicine in the world? I mean, isn't Harvard and, Tufts supposed to be pumping out the best MDs in the world? Well, they might be pumping out the best academicians in their particular field of study, but the field of study that they're excelling at is outdated, old-fashioned, archaic, and, quite frankly, wrong. These are the people that told you, 80 years ago to bleed yourselves to death. Let the bad humors out of the body, right? That's what you need. Oh, yeah, that's what you need. You need to let the bad humors out. then you need to eat, oil and margarine. Stay the heck away from butter and salt. Oh, no, don't even look at salt. Salt's the Antichrist. And you got to take those statin drugs. You got to keep your cholesterol below 199. Well, while we've kept cholesterol below 199, Alzheimer's has risen from obscurity to become the 6th leading cause of death in the United States. And if you look at the genesis of Alzheimer's, it parallels almost exactly with about a 5-7 year interim from the administration of the first statin drugs, the delivery of the first statin drugs to the medical marketplace, and then the genesis of Alzheimer's. They parallel each other almost exactly. Because 95% of the part of your brain that's affected by Alzheimer's is made from cholesterol. How about that? So when you drive cholesterol into the ditch with statin drugs, Alzheimer's skyrockets. But heart disease remains unchanged because there ain't no relationship between cholesterol and heart disease. It's not cholesterol. That's the problem. Cholesterol, your body needs cholesterol. Your body loves cholesterol. Your body is made from cholesterol, for goodness sakes. Cholesterol isn't the Antichrist. Inflammation is. Inflammation is the problem. But, the MDs don't know and people are slowly starting to catch a clue. But then they're on their own because there are very few holistic healthcare licensed and regulated holistic medical practitioners in the world that can deliver effective formulations. Dr. Wallach is one of them. Dr. Wallach, in his foresight and in his wisdom, understood that healing is easy, that people need boilerplate, foundation, medical nutrition, and that's what longevity brings to the table. Healing is easy, ladies and gentlemen. Surgery is complicated. You need to get on board with a health recovery protocol appropriate for your body weight that actually works. Of all the things I've seen in 25 years of clinical experience, the longevity stuff produces more consistent, reliable, remarkable, measurable results than anything I've ever seen. That's why I'm an advocate of it, and that's why you should take it. Proof of the pudding's in the eating. You don't know what you're missing. Give it a try. Going right to the phones when we come back. Ohio is up first. I'm Dr. Glidden. This is Fire Your MD Now. Welcome back, everybody. Dr. Peter Glidden here, your steadfast advocate for health. I have a lively chat session going on in the live video feed. Check it out. Facebook, Dr. Glidden, Fire Your MD Now, or my website, drglidden.com. Matthew from Ohio is up first. Let's see what he wants to know. Hey, Matt, thanks for the phone call. You are live.
Hey, thanks for being there, Dr. Glidden.
Hey, I'm happy to help. What's going on, man?
Bonanza. That was the Bonanza theme.
Yeah, I know. Remember that?
I get so much more out of that show nowadays than I did back when it was originally airing.
How about Michael Landon, right? Too bad he had to go, man. He was a good guy.
Oh, I know it. He sure was. So here's my question. It's just kind of a general question.
Yep.
And I got Dr. Wallach's opinion. I'm going to put them together in an MP3 file and send it to a couple friends who are falling for this thing about cancer and the milieu of your body-mind with the pH being, what is, they say cancer cells thrive in I don't remember if it's an alkaline or a more acidic environment. And
the idea, of course, is that, and so you want to know what's the real deal with that, right?
That's exactly what I'm asking.
All right. Well, all right, great. Well, you called the right person. Really, you didn't need to go any further than Dr. Wallach because Dr. Wallach, of course, was in charge of $25 million of federally funded research from 70 to 82, did 25,000 autopsies and did millions, 10 million, I think, histopathologies. I mean, a remarkable amount of old-fashioned boots-on-the-ground pragmatic research, and it wasn't funded by the pharmaceutical industry either, so there was no a priori direction, right? I mean, it was all just good research, and when you start to do that many autopsies and that many histopathologies, you get a clue. This is why Dr. Wallach's therapeutics are so effective, because he has more hands-on experience with pathophysiology than anybody on the planet. So here's the deal. There's a difference between a cancer cell in a petri dish in a lab and a cancer cell in the human body. If you are growing cancer cells in a petri dish in the lab, then the environment needs to be acidic. The environment needs to be acidic. If the environment is alkaline, the cancer has a tough time growing. It needs to grow in an acidic environment. And so then the extrapolation became, well, in order to make cancer cells go away, we need to make the environment of the body alkaline. And people just started, advocating the use of alkalinized water and an alkaline diet and this, that, and the other thing. And they completely missed. They completely overlooked a giant piece of human physiology, which is the simple fact that our bodies have a built-in buffering system. Your body has 6 buffering systems that it uses to maintain very tight control over the pH of the blood and the body. Very tight control over the pH of the blood and the body. So if the pH starts going a little bit towards the acidic end of the spectrum or too much towards the alkaline end of the spectrum, the buffering systems kick in and brings the pH of the blood back to exactly where it needs to be. So it is virtually impossible to make the environment of the human body too acidic. If the body becomes too acidic or too alkaline, you go into a coma. So you can't really do it. I mean, you can push the envelope a little bit, but you can't really do it. So the whole alkaline acid thing is kind of a non-starter. However, in order to ensure that the buffering systems of the body are working the way that nature intended them to, because remember, our entire supposition here is that the body knows how to fix itself, the body wants to fix itself, the body is trying to fix itself all of the time, right? But the body needs stuff in order to do that. So in order for the lungs to work, the body needs essential fatty acids. In order for the bones to work, the body needs calcium and boron and phosphorus and selenium and zinc and minerals. Well, in order for the buffering systems of the body to work, you need minerals. Minerals are an inherently extremely important part of the buffering system. If you are minerally deficient, which everybody is, and you eat a diet that forces your blood towards the acidic end of the spectrum, as the buffering systems kick in, because there aren't any extra minerals, the body will rob minerals from the bones and the joints, leading to arthritis. So from our point of view, mineralization is of maximum importance here, because if the body is properly mineralized, regardless of your diet, your blood is going to be at a perfect pH, because the body can do that with the buffering systems, and it will attempt to do that all of the time. Always better to lean on the wisdom of the body. Thanks so much for the call, Matthew. Hope that answered your question. Stick around, folks. More to come. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Dr. Glidden in the house. We've got everybody in the chat room is going crazy. 65 people now in the live chat watching the live stream. Check it out. Facebook, Dr. Glidden, Fire Your MD Now, or just go to my website, drglidden.com. Benjamin, well, one thing I wanted to say to just kind of complete the stream of consciousness about the pH thing, okay? Remember, this is holistic medicine, which is the proper orientation to bring to bear on the human body, because the human body is not a reductionistic evolutionary accident bag of chemicals that MDs argue that it is. The human body is a complex system of interrelated parts, which is informed with a divine intelligence. The body knows how to fix itself, wants to fix itself, is trying to fix itself all of the time, but it needs help. So, if your body is nutrified, your pH will be proper, regardless of what you eat. If your body is properly nutrified, your pH will be proper, regardless of what you eat. Now, you don't want to be eating the wrong crap all the time. You want to, our recommendation is eliminate. There are 10 foods we don't want anybody to look at, let alone eat. And if we do that and feed the body the 90 essential nutrients it needs, then we don't have to worry about the pH of the body, because the body will sort it out on its own, right? And also you want to avoid any alkalinized water with a meal, because the only thing that alkalinized water one of the things that alkalinized water does is it neutralizes stomach acid, right? Acid and alkaline neutralize each other. So your stomach acid is supposed to be really super acidic That's how it digests food. So if you wash down a meal with alkalinized water, you're not pulling any nutrients out of it, or very few, because the alkalinized water that you've just consumed has neutralized the acid in your stomach. And that's not a good idea. If you want to drink alkalinized water, drink it between meals, and then you are good to go. Benjamin from New York is up next. He's got trouble sleeping. Hey, Ben, thanks for the phone call. You are live.
Yeah, I have a problem with my left finger.
Hey, Ben, I'm having a real hard time hearing you, man. I think you have to change the receiver or something.
Yes, I have a problem with my left finger.
With what?
My left finger. My left.
I can't hear you, man. We have a really, really bad connection.
Okay, my left finger.
You have a problem with your left finger?
No, my left finger. I have a my left finger from using a computer.
Ben, I can't hear a word that you're saying. I'm sorry. That's the first time I think this has ever happened on this radio show. I just couldn't understand what the guy was saying. Call me back with a better connection, and maybe the people doing my soundboard can sort this question out for me. We're going to move on here to Tammy in North Carolina. Hey, Tammy, thanks for the phone call. You are live.
Yes, Dr. Glidden, so glad to talk to you.
Hey.
I have vitiligo, and I have listened to your webinar May 5th about vitiligo. At one time, I subscribed to this program online, and it said blueberries are bad for vitiligo because they have hydroquinone, or quinolone, and it destroys the pigment-making cell, something like that. Is that a bunch of bunk?
Well, if that were true, everybody that ate blueberries would have vitiligo, right?
Okay, I was hoping that was not true.
Well, I mean, we have to keep everything, I mean, you can say it's a dodge, but it's true that it's the sun that causes tornadoes, right? Because, the sun evaporates water, water makes clouds, clouds make tornadoes, so it's the sun that causes tornadoes. Well, kind of, sort of, but not really. It's kind of, sort of right, but not really. So there may be a chemical in the blueberry, a biochemical, a phytonutrient in a blueberry that interrupts a particular biochemical pathway that the body uses in order to make pigment. But there's a whole lot of other things going on there, and you would probably need to eat, like 10 pounds of blueberries a day in order to make that happen. I mean, so what we need to do here is, when we are attempting to understand the pathogenesis of anything, we need to lean on science, right? And that's why Wallach is so very important. Wallach's brain is so very important. The main nutrients that are needed by the human body to make pigment are copper and the amino acid tyrosine. You need to have both. You need to have copper and you need to have tyrosine.
Is that in the selenium, both of those?
No. The copper is, but I don't think there's enough of it. Now, I've met people in longevity who their hair came completely back, right? I mean, I met one guy who was gray, and now his hair is bright red. I mean, it looks like, bright red, like he just, stepped out of Scotland. I mean, and another guy, jet black hair, used to be white, and they did that with the longevity selenium that has the copper in it, plus the additional 90 essential nutrients, plus elimination of the 10 bad foods. I've also met a bunch of people, myself included, who have had somewhat okay results with the longevity selenium as far as getting color back into the hair. And I have to say that I haven't really been diligent at specifically attempting to get the color back in my hair. If I had, I would be doing the HGH Youth Complex every day, because the HGH Youth Complex has the amino acid tyrosine in it. Right.
Okay, so that's how I get it, the HGH complex. Yeah,
HGH Youth Complex. You want to be taking also the selenium at 1 bottle per 50 pounds per month. 1 bottle per 50 pounds per month. Not to exceed more than 4 bottles a month. Now, the general recommendation for selenium is 1 bottle per 100 pounds per month. But when we're specifically trying to address a copper deficiency here, then we would need to take more. And so that's why we would increase it. You might also want to go outside of longevity and do a colloidal copper supplement. My favorite is Meso Copper, MESO Copper. It's a colloidal copper supplement.
MES, say that again?
Yeah, MES like Sam O, Meso Copper. Get a bottle of, it's like colloidal silver, right, except it's colloidal copper.
Okay, so colloidal copper, yes. I want to get I've been doing the selenium 3 in the morning, 3 at night, and the rest of the program.
How much do you weigh?
I weigh about 109.
Yeah, well then I would do 9. Do 9 selenium a day.
9 selenium a day.
Yeah, do 9. Yeah, and do it between meals. You might want to become an insider on my website if you're not already and access the webinar that I did on maximizing the absorption of supplements, right? Because selenium and copper are minerals. And once you've eliminated the 10 bad foods, that goes a long way towards helping everything be better absorbed into your body. But if you eat food that's high in phytates bind to minerals.
I'm with you.
All right, so you have to get away from the phytates. If you've done that,
I have. And matter of fact, I can't find a time to fit them in.
Isn't that something? I know. It's funny how that goes, right?
And,
right. I mean, you're exactly right.
I used to think I was, the healthiest eater, but my diet consisted of nothing but phytates. Spinach,
it's crazy.
Rice, everything. But now that I'm trying to avoid it, 2 hours before or after my minerals, I can't fit them in.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, you wake up one day and you think to yourself, holy smokes, I mean, what was my big problem giving up spinach? I mean, really, it's kind of a no-brainer right now, right? It's no harm and no foul. It's funny how the mind works like that. Isn't that funny? Things that seem like insurmountable in retrospect, it's like, geez, what was my problem with that? I mean, I can't believe it took me so long to stop eating that stuff, right?
Right. I was eating it because I thought it was healthy. I was eating all these things because I thought they were so healthy.
I'm going to give you a little teaser here. I'm developing a product, a topical that you can use to help bring back the color in your hair, and it's not a dye. So stay tuned. I hope to be rolling this out by the end of the year. So stay tuned. But in the meantime. Internally, colloidal copper and tyrosine, which you can get from HGH Youth Complex. Check it out.
Okay, got one more question.
Shoot.
Okay, I still seem to be very tired, even though I've been on the program.
How long have you been on the program?
Almost 3 months.
Okay, so as an experiment, for 7 days in a row, double the amount of Beyond Tangy Tangerine that you're taking. Double it.
Okay, well, I love it, so.
Now, the best way to do that, right, is to, you can do it one of 2 ways. You can either, figure out how many scoops are you taking right now a day? 2?
2.
All right, so here's what you can do. You can put 2 scoops into 20 ounces of water twice. So you get 2 bottles, at least 20 ounces of water. You can use more water if you want. I don't care. It's got to be a minimum of 20 ounces. Put 2 scoops into each bottle. So now you got 4 scoops. And just drink from those 2 bottles all day long, right?
Okay. All right.
Just make sure they're gone, by sunset, and you're good to go.
There's one other factor. Drinking the tangy tangerine is not a problem. But, okay, I have had thyroid condition all my life been on thyroid since I was 12.
All right. Well, the short answer is you have to see a chiropractor and make sure that the curve of your neck is correct, because if the curve of your neck isn't correct, your thyroid's going to be funky. You have to eliminate cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and cauliflower, right? Because that stuff decreases thyroid function.
Done that. And I didn't know if it was a blood sugar problem because I crave.
Well, it's easy to figure out. So go to directlabs.com, Direct Labs, plural, lab with an S, directlabs.com. You can order your own blood work. You can completely bypass the MDs. I love it. Order a hemoglobin A1C test. hemoglobin A1C.
I did have that done a couple years ago, and I've really watched my sugar since then. But yes, I was borderline.
Well, was it high or was it normal a couple of years ago?
It was high.
Well, so you've got a blood sugar issue. So then what you should add into the bargain would be the sweeties. So you shouldn't be doing the Healthy Start pack. You should be doing the Healthy Blood Sugar pack every month.
Okay, well, I did order sweeties. I'm not sure how to take it. Do I take one with
No. Nobody really knows how to take the sweeties. We're kind of swinging in the dark with that one. But a good ballpark place to start with the sweeties is one bottle per 100 pounds per month. Now, I think there's 120 caps in one bottle. Right. So you would take 120, divide it by 30 days in the month. That's 4 a day, right? Okay. So take 2 capsules twice a day.
Was that with meals, between meals?
So that would, well, if you're avoiding the phytates, then you can take it with a meal.
Okay.
Yeah, but and also, but really, the clinical hallmarks of blood sugar problems is you get sleepy after a carbohydrate load, like you'll get sleepy after you have something that's got a lot of sugar in it. Or you wake up in the middle of the night and you're wide awake. Just having kind of funky energy levels all day long doesn't necessarily speak to me about an initial blood sugar thing. It speaks to me about a chronic lack of nutrients. And, you know, you've had a chronic lack of nutrients your entire life. That ain't going to go away in just 2 months. But so that's why I think it might be more prudent for you now to double the amount of Beyond Tangy Tangerine, just as an experiment for 7 days. And see if that doesn't cut the mustard. Check it out, Tammy. Appreciate the phone call. Stick around, folks. More to come. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Finishing out the first hour. Dr. Peter Glidden here, your steadfast advocate for health. Utah is up next with Dennis. Hey, Dennis, thanks for the phone call. You are live. Come in, Dennis. Hello, Dennis. Dennis, are you there? Maybe not.
I'm here.
Go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, there you are. Okay, yeah. Hey, thanks for the phone call. I almost cut you off there. What's going on?
Oh, sorry, my phone. Smartphones are smarter than I am sometimes.
I know, right? I know.
It's Denise, by the way, but that's okay. Everybody makes that mistake.
Okay, hey, Denise, even better. Women tend to be smarter than men anyway, so welcome aboard.
Okay, well, my husband might disagree with that statement, but we won't worry about that. I'm new to these products from Longevity. I was taking another product or another protocol to help me with recent diagnosis of diabetes too.
Oh, yeah.
I was able to drop my A1C from 6.8 to 5.9.
Great.
In a couple of months, but they had gluten in them, so I had to stop.
Yeah.
I have Hashimoto's, so I have to be very careful about all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So I was told to take the classic and the selenium, the ultimate EPA, and the sweeties. And I just want to make sure I don't see anything happening with my blood sugar. It's not going up, but it's not coming down any, and it's been about a month now. So I just want to make sure I was taking the right stuff. Yeah,
smart. I mean, smart. See, you are the smartest person in Utah, right? Yeah, so there we go. So I'm right again. So here's the deal. With medical nutrition, we need to do 3 things. Number 1, we need to stop eating food that's disallowing the nutrients from being absorbed into the bloodstream, right? So we've identified 10 foods that you need to stop eating, and gluten represent 4 of those 10 bad foods. So I would encourage you to go to my website, drglidden.com. Scroll down the front page and get a list for free of the rest of the 10 bad foods, okay? So you need to stop eating them. Number 2, you also need to identify foods that are high in phytates, P-H-Y-T like Thomas, A-T-E-S phytates, because phytates bind to minerals, and minerals are the backbone of your body's sugar metabolization engine. So we need to give you minerals like chromium and vanadium and a bunch of other trace minerals. Mm-hmm. And if you're swallowing any mineral supplement from any company on top of a meal that has phytates in it, you're maybe only going to be able to absorb 20 or 30% of it, and so you need to be mindful of eliminating phytates as well within a couple of hours before or after you've taken a mineral supplement, okay? So once you've got those two things down, then the next thing to do is to dial in a blood sugar support program appropriate for your body weight, and then the last thing would be, in addition to that, giving your body the rest of the nutrients that it needs to function properly, because everything's connected, right? Okay. So let's say that somebody did research and they found out that you needed chromium in order to have optimal blood sugar levels. Well, wait a minute. That research has, in fact, been done. That was done in 1958, and it was proven that chromium deficiencies generate type 2 diabetes. Chromium is an essential nutrient for your body, but there are also 89 other essential nutrients. Now, if you just took chromium into your body, you would get some kick for your blood sugar, but if you took chromium plus all 89 other nutrients, right, because everything's connected, you would get a much better response. And this is our whole deal here, that you need to get a holistic blood support program rather than a fractionated nutrition blood support program, right? So what's your current body weight?
215.
215? Okay, so here's what I would do. I would do 2 healthy blood sugar packs a month. 2 healthy blood sugar packs a month. 2 bottles of plant-derived minerals a month. And 4 bottles of selenium a month. Now, if that's too much for the budget, then just do the 2 healthy blood sugar packs a month. 2 healthy blood sugar packs a month should be sufficient to the cause here, and that's a step up from what you're already doing, right? So remember.
Yeah, but right now, I mean, I just got a 2-month supply for the classic and the selenium and all of that. So I don't have the minerals. Do I need to be doing the minerals?
No, the minerals are in there. The minerals are in there. The minerals are part of the classic. So you just want to make sure. You know what? We're right up against the hour. If you can stick around with me through the next 6 minutes, and I'll pick you up at the beginning of the second segment, and I'll dial this right in for you. Appreciate your call, Denise. Hold the phone. We'll be back as soon as I can. Check out the live video stream, folks, drglidden.com. See you shortly.